Ascending. Ascending. You wrote it out in your vocabulary, but I bet you it's been a long time since you probably have forgotten what it means.
No, ma'am, we don't need to write it again.
Mr. Lister,
Ma'am?
can you turn off the hog?
The what?
Do you see the light switch? It says hog on it. It has a little picture of a hog. It's right up there by the screen. There you go. Thank you. Ascending. Ascending means you're going from least to greatest. Okay? Ascending is least to greatest. The opposite, so you're going from here to heaven. You're ascending up to heaven. All right? Descending, well, that's greatest to least. Okay? So, I'm sorry. I'm sure that everyone in this room will not descend to where, that preacher talks about. Okay? All right? We're all going and we're going to ascend to heaven. All right? This is how you are asked now. You're not necessarily always asked greatest to least or least to greatest. You'll be asked to put the numbers in ascending order or descending order. Okay? Hi. Okay. And you just enrolled? Okay. For today, grab this piece of paper and we will have to work on getting you caught up from now. Okay? All right. So, number 1. Okay? Number 1 says, on your worksheet, write the numbers in the descending order. Now, most of you are probably used to working on your worksheet. When you are doing ordering and comparing, I need you to on the side of whatever you're doing, but when you're going to do something here in class, for a test, you'll have room. But for class here, you're going to write on a separate piece of paper, all right? And descending order, I just said, is what? Greatest to least or least to greatest? So I'm going to put always, when I get asked that question, G to L, to remind me, because it's very easy to get turned around, especially when it's greatest to least, because we're so used to least to greatest, aren't we? All right, our first number that we have there is 0. I want you to write it on your paper. Then the next number we have is negative square root of 2. The next number is the square root of 5. Next number is 13 divided by 4. And if you notice, I've put 1 on each line, okay? I'm keeping them very, very, very low. Straight, all right? The next thing I'm going to do, because this is where most of us mess up, I'm going to come out here, and in this la-la land out here, I'm going to put a decimal point, a decimal point, a decimal point, and a decimal point, okay? Because if you do not keep your decimals lined up, you will make mistakes. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just throw my decimals out there, all right? Does anybody know how I'm going to write 0 as a decimal? I'm going to put it in the whole number. Okay? That's 0 as a decimal. Okay? All right. The square root of a negative square root of 2. So we need to get our calculators out. And we are going to here put in the negative sign. Okay. And we are going to put second and square root and put 2 and hit enter. Are you getting one? Okay. Thank you. negative sign, second square root. Everybody needs to be doing it. Second, and the x squared button has the square root sign on top of it, and 2. And hit enter. Alright, negative sign. There you go, and hit enter. Okay, now, do I need to write all that out? Nah, for our purposes, what I'm going to do right here, first off, I'm going to put a really dark negative sign. Anybody who makes those little tiny light marks needs to darken it because it needs to come out and jump at you. Alright, and then I'm going to put my 1 right under my 0. I'm going to go out 3 digits just for in case. 4, 1, 4. Okay? Remember, although I'm requiring you to do this, you didn't have to do any of that math to get that number, did you? Okay? So it is going, you're saving time, and it will be easier than what you're used to. The next one we've got is the square root of 5. So what are we going to do? Hit second. X squared, which is the square root sign. Then what are we going to do? 5. Hit enter. And what do we got? So I'm going to make sure that 2 is right under here. And I've got 2, 3, 6. Okay. What's the next number I have? So I'm going to make it into a what? And how do I change a fraction to a decimal?
Divide the numerator with the denominator.
13 divided by 4. Hit enter. And I get 3.25. Okay? Alright. I said we're going to work smart. Since I went out 3 digits, I'm going to fill all my holes with zeros. Okay? And then I'm going to take my worksheet paper and do this. All right, I've got greatest to least, so I need the biggest number. The first thing we do is we look on the whole number side. What's the biggest number?
3.
So over here next to where this is, I'm going to put that has to be number 1. Okay? Then I'm going to come over here and lightly cross that out. Now I'm only looking at 3 numbers. What's next? 2 is the largest number, so here I'm going to do this. This is a pretty easy one, okay? They're not usually like this. They're usually very close or have more than 1 negative, and so it causes issues. All right, what's the next biggest number?
0.
Because of this sign, and if you lose that sign, you're going to have problems. So this is number 3. This is going to be number 4. Now, I can come over here and very easily, first biggest number was 13 over 4. Second was square root of 5. Third, 0. See, I almost did it. And now, negative square root of 2, and I can put them in order. Okay? If you don't list these, you get confused as to which one belongs with which. All right? And these are really nice. Okay? There's only 4 numbers. You know, we'll get to 2 negatives here. But I want you to look. This is more typical of an 8th grade question down here. Okay? So keeping those numbers straight becomes ultimately very, very, very important. All right? All right, we got time for another one. So now we're going to go on to number 2. Okay? All right. I'm not going to put a number 2 here because remember that's where I'm going to do my ordering. Okay? So I want to time something. All right? Is somebody good watching the second hand? Can somebody watch the second hand on the second hand on my clock? Do you know how to do that? Okay. When I say go, you're going to time me, okay? On go. I'm done. What is it? Okay. So, it took me 5 seconds to write those down. Is 5 seconds of your life worth getting the problem right? Really?
Yes.
So 5 seconds of your life, you won't give me 5 seconds of your life to get the problem wrong. Right. That's what you just said. Okay? What I'm trying to say is, see, it doesn't really take that long. Okay? And then all I did was come out here. I'm going to put decimal, 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 decimal. Okay? Yes, right there. Because that's our second problem. Now, were we going greatest to least or least to greatest? So see, I'm going to do this again. And you can even just write G and then an arrow to L. I mean, shorthand it. All right? But give yourself some kind of clue. Whatever works for you. Biggest to smallest, I don't care. Whatever works for you. All right? Okay, so what's the first thing I'm going to do? I got to write 3 as a decimal. I don't know how to do that. I'm going to get confused. What is 3? A whole number. So, what am I going to write 3? Is the decimal before a whole number or after a whole number?
After.
Think about whole numbers as money. If you were to write $3, how would you write that?
3.00.
There you go, and that'll help you. Whole numbers are dollars. 10, it's 10.00. Everybody knows how to write money. Believe me, we all know about money. So 3, and I'm going to write 00. There's my $3. Okay? Square root of 10, second, square root 10. Everybody got it in their screen? Yes or no? Who doesn't? You got it? Okay, hit enter. What do you get? Okay, so I told you 3 digits. Just to be on the safe side. Most of the time in 8th grade, you'll only need 2. Okay? But just to be on the safe side. Okay? Alright, next, what are we going to do?
3 divided by 4.
3 divided by 4. And what do we get?
0.75.
So I'm going to do that after the decimal. Do you see how my numbers are really lined up really nicely? Try to do that when you do these problems. You know, you're only going to have 1 or 2, okay? So it's not like the whole darn, assessment. So take the time to do it. All right, negative 1.5. What is the first thing I'm going to do? Put the nice dark negative sign out there so I don't forget. And then I know I've got a whole number because remember, we're going to write our whole numbers and convert our parts. So now, we're going to change 0.5. Do we need to change it? Do we need to do anything to it? Nope, it's already in decimal form. There we go, 0.5. Now, I'm going to go through, fill in my zeros. Okay. Am I looking for the greatest or the least? The biggest or the smallest? The greatest. Okay, so I'm looking at my whole numbers first. 3. I got 2 of them, don't I?
Yeah.
So I need to look at those top 2 numbers, and I'm going to go over 1. Which one's bigger?
3.1.
Okay, so I'm going to put a 1 over here. I'm going to cross that out. I already know what my second number is going to be, right? It's going to be right here because that was in competition with that one. All right. Now I need the third biggest number, which is going to be 3 over 4 because this is a negative, all right? So there's number 3, there's number 4. I could come over here and I can write exactly. I don't have any problems writing these. Second 10, I got 3/4. I got negative 1.5. Okay? Everybody good? Okay. We're going to finish this off on Monday. I want you to remember how to clear your calculator and turn it off. How do we clear it? 7, 1, 2. Wait till it says RAM reset. RAM cleared, then hit what? Second on or off. You are going to put it in where it belongs, the correct number. Put these at the front of your binder. Okay. Ma'am. Huh? Can I see your schedule again? Oh, I know. So terrible. sorry. I know.
You know she bad.
Yes, I did.
Was she bad?
No.
You know Trayvon?
Yes.
Was he bad?
Yeah.
He was.
No, he wasn't. Are you related?
Yeah.
Is Shanaisa your sister?
Yeah.
Oh, you tell her to stop this.
She already know.
Yeah. And she told you, oh, I'm so sorry?
Yes, that's what
Did
everybody
she tell you, oh, I'm so sorry?
She was just laughing. She said that you trust too much.
She just dropped subtle hints.
All right. I'm going to give you. I'm so bad.
Say I say worse good.
Were you here for session break? You just started home late because.
No, I just.
Okay. All right. So, so what I've got for you is you are in a worksheet. You set it in you don't even know. Do you have access to the internet?
45 minutes.
There you go. All right. Okay. So, maybe this afternoon, can you stop by? And I can give you a folder and everything you need.
Man, you're all sick.
Please don't hang out at my door. When we're done, if I release just a little bit early,